All right, it does look like we're live again. That's at least the feedback I'm getting from the dedicated observer, and that does appear to be the case. So we're gonna go ahead with the second best out of three right now, I believe, in just a second. Of course, Harstem did seize the first one, but he came from the lower bracket, as I think you mentioned before, which means he has to win two of them. Now, he won this very first one very, very drastically and heavily. We're gonna see if perhaps this game sucks is gonna be a better resistance and possibly even win a map in the next best out of three.
Yeah, it's kind of weird thing we're seeing so far. These losers bracket players are just kind of rolling right on through their winners brackets opponents so far. At least in that first series, anything to really say. I mean, Jonah just ran right on through Shock, and well, right now Harstem's looking in dominant position over this game suck. But if this game suck can figure out this build, like you said, and actually defend against Harstem, we'll have to see Harstem be the one who's reacting. But well, it's gonna be a tall feat to accomplish. This build's looking very, very strong.
Yeah, and spaced out there for a second, haven't we talked about the map choice, or not the map choice, the designated map, basically?
Derelict Watcher is going to be the map here.
That's a fairly...
I don't know if I've cast any games on this map so far.
I cannot remember casting a single one, actually. I feel that this map is very, very different. And that sort of deters people from wanting to play it. But it does seem like this is actually something the players are forced to play right now. And it's going to be really fun casting the map, because it's very, very special, very, very open. But let's wait with that just for a second, because I would love to go ahead and introduce the players right away. It's in the top right this time, and it is This Game Sucks, representing AT as the Orange Zerg.
And in the bottom left, we have our very well-known and established Protoss player representing Team Fnatic. He is pink. He is Harstem. And yeah, looking at this map, just right off the bat, I get kind of a Neo-Planet-esque feel as far as like third base defensibility for Protoss so far. This third base a little bit easier to defend maybe, but this ramp is really large and it's pretty much completely separate from your natural. Couple big ramps separating the two things, so maybe not quite as bad as Neo-Planet, but along the same lines as far as I can tell right off the bat without seeing many games on it so far.
Yeah, I do understand what you're referring to. I mean, I do understand that the whole base layout is sort of in that type of field. There can be quite a bit of distance between third and fourth, for example, and it's sort of an island there for the third, but you don't really have to make your own SimCity as opposed to wall it off. Anyhow, the biggest thing about this map is usually that it's very, very open. And, you know, in many, many games, when we see, for example, a lot of lanes and perhaps ultras from the Zerg, you want to wall off, but that's literally impossible on this map. I have never even seen that being accomplished, because it's so vast and so huge and so open. And it's really interesting sometimes to see those types of games. And I believe you talked a bit earlier about how you thought it was a bit greedy by our previous pros, Shock, to go for a very early expansion of a gateway. But, you know, Harstem, he goes a bit further. He doesn't even take the gateway, you know.
This is absurdly greedy. And the thing is, on this map, I mean, this ramp is decently sized. It's not like the biggest choke in the world, but, I mean, he's going to have an interesting time defending it if this game suck goes for anything early so far. But we've not seen any sort of ridiculous early aggression from him as of yet, so I think he should still be fine. He's already putting the pylon down. He's going to start walling off with the gateway in the core, or sorry, it's the forge in base. So yeah, it's going to be a gateway probably in the core on the low ground to wall off. So I think he should be fine. Nothing too crazy coming from this game suck as of yet. And he's playing he's just adding on drones and stuff like that. So I think he should be fine. And yeah, Harstem going to get away with some massive greed here. That Nexus first is, well, that's literally as greedy as you can play it against a Zerg player.
Well, yeah, definitely. I cannot imagine any greedier thing, actually. We could imagine some, but they would not be realistic, so to say. So this is probably Harstem has stepped it up and decided to play eco-cheesy almost. And it's sort of working out to his advantage. He's finally sending out that probe to scout a bit, and he checks the third first of all, and he's going to see that it has been placed down first. And you know what I'm seeing right now? My very trained Protoss eye sees a cannon rush opportunity, but it looks like he's actually not going to go for it.
Yeah, I think cannon rush is one of those things that when you feel like you're the superior player, you really don't want to rely on things like that. It's nice if it does work out, but you're putting yourself in unnecessarily kind of down position if it doesn't work. I think it could have certainly worked though. I do think you're right, but well, I'm not going to go for it. And this Overlord looks like, the way it's rolling down towards his third base, I think he would have spotted it if it had been attempted, so potentially, depending on where it was put. So I think he did make the right decision in not doing it this time around.
Yeah, I do think so as well. I mean, you've obviously not played the Protoss very much because it's the best feeling in the world and you go for it no matter what. So I do highly recommend anyone to go for cannon rushes, and if you're Zerg, always scout for them because it's just so much fun. This wall of not really complete, but all the tech basically down here from Harstem is actually done. We're seeing a very early +1 once again, so quite possibly the same build. But I don't find the Sentry Immortal All-In very, very good on this map because it's so open. I can't see any locations where you actually could get good force feeds.
Yeah, like you were saying, the map. Like if you just look at the mini map, there, like it's just you can like put your cursor somewhere where there's just like there's literally no obstacles and it's just an open area, the entire size of your screen. Like this map has a ton of space on it. Mothership core on the way, 3 more gateways. So, well, it looks like it's gonna be a +1 4-gate pressure yet again. Very likely here from Harstem.
Yeah, and wow, that Zealot just dodges those links by the millimeter, I must say. Maybe you're not familiar with that because you're American, isn't that so? I shall be more kind and just say pinky finger or something.
I love the metric system. I'm all about the metric system. You can't convert units. It's absurd. Our system's awful. I'm all about it. But too bad I need to move somewhere else and just.
I mean, ironically, all the American casters I've casted with want to move to Europe. I start getting like a couple of like nationalistic vibes right here because I feel superior right now, but let's dodge that before it gets a bit too much. We're having the first Zealot being surrounded, and now there's only Stalkers left versus the Lings. Stalkers versus Slow Lings work fairly well, of course, unless they get surrounded. But that was not the case right now, so Harstem pushing these Lings back.
Yep, just gonna go ahead and bounce it back. Any Lings you can take out, just a nice little prize to take back home. But losing that Zealot's a bit annoying, but we'll continue with the 4-gate pressure regardless. Potentially, let's see what he does warp in. 4 Zealots on the way. So here they do come. A fair number of Lings, but I mean, this is a fair number of Zealots as well. So with the Stalker back up too.
That's a great round.
That's a good start for him. Very, very nice way to start that off. And that'll make dealing with the Zealots a heck of a lot easier. But not going to engage straight into them, just going to instead back off towards his base. Allow the Queen to help out as well. And I mean, dealing with this patiently is great. You don't want to just like throw Lings into Zealots if you don't really have to, if you can kind of wait on it a bit. But more Zealots coming in, so he's not quite done with his pressure as of yet. And, well, more and more Lings on the way instead of more Roaches or anything like that. Actually, does he have a Roach Warren? He does have a Roach Warren, so he can make them if he wants to. But the Zealots continuing to go to work here. And more being warped in. Mothership core on the scene now as well. If you can deal with that Queen, that core could do a fair bit of damage here if he targets that Queen down. And one Zealot is going to go for it.
Yeah, I feel that he is saving his gas for Hydras, losing a bit of workers right here, not far too many. The Lings not really taking care of the Zealots right now, and the +1 Zealots are so strong versus those Lings. A bit surprised he didn't take the first engagement he possibly could, but let's analyze the situation a bit here. We have 47 workers to 46, but we also have the impending, Sentry Immortal All-In coming right now. Of course, the defense being Ling Hydras, it seems right now, is very... Oh, actually, I completely missed that infestation pit. What are we doing with this early hive?
Ooh, he's going... What is he doing with that hive? That is a... I'm not really 100% sure, to be honest.
Actually, I think he would not, for the life of him, expect a Sentry Immortal. And of course, he does see it right now, so he should know it's coming. But looks like he actually even cancels that hive and produces a couple of extra Hydras instead. Now, if he can defend on any map and with any composition, it should be this one. I really, really hope he will actually manage to, because he's sort of the underdog right now, but we're actually going to see if that will be the case. The creep spread is not far too good.
Yeah, and it's... Well, the good thing is, I mean, the Immortals aren't tremendously effective against any of these units. There's no Roaches, it's purely Lings and Hydras, but that also means that those Zealots, if they start getting those right clicks down, they'll do a lot of damage. Using Dota terms or sneaking into my vocabulary. What am I doing with my life? But anyway,
you've chosen the wrong path.
Those right clicks. In any case, here comes this big attack, and warping in more mostly Stalkers at this point, which I think is the correct choice against the composition that we're seeing so far. But here comes the Guardian Shield as well being used. Force fields will drop down here pretty soon. A lot of lanes getting on top of this, trapping them all in with this, and a lot of force fields being spent. Nice little ring right there. But killing a fair number of Lings here. Immortal's trying to go to work with these Hydra. The Hydra range is done, so they're starting to go to work as well. Lings getting up on these sentries and Immortals. And what with these Hydras... using the War Prism to micro get with these Immortals as well. So very done from Harstem so far. Not Immortal dead yet. Their ball at very low health, but still dealing DPS, and he's actually going to push through here. That was excellently microed by Harstem. More units on the way in, but forced to run through that Time Warp. And this Spine Crawler looks like a showdown. Still no Immortals dead somehow. The first one... No, it's still not dead. Are you kidding me, Harstem?
That's 1 HP right there. Great micro. Oh, don't tell me it's going to die. This
guy,
no,
okay, he lost one. He finally lost one. That was...
Well, he might have won the game, but he has lost my heart, because that was so close. Almost the perfect game right there. And that was quite exciting. The closest defense so far for this game.